Yo. Second show of the day, man. Welcome back to the ChrisBeCappinn Show. We are going through WNBA. So if you missed the NBA show, we did do the NBA show a little bit earlier. I did end up making a play. I know I talked about three plays that I like, four plays that I actually like for the game, but I ended up making one. Still got about an hour and a half before the game starts. So I wanted to get the WNBA out of the way for tomorrow. Just because for one, there are 6 games. For two, I'm not going to have time to do it outside of doing it tonight. And I don't want to be doing it after the game tonight. So I can go to sleep and wake up early because I got soccer camp with my son in the morning. So that's the reason for a second show tonight. As you guys join, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that like button. Make sure you guys have notifications on because throughout the summer, I am going live at all different times. Sometimes it's night shows, sometimes it's afternoon shows. I apologize for the inconvenience, but if you got the notification bell on, you do know when I go live. So appreciate everybody for tapping in. Like I said, do me a favor, hit the like button, share the show. Let me know what you guys are betting, all that good stuff in the comments, and I do appreciate you. We're gonna jump right into it. 6 games for tomorrow. Couple bets that I like, couple I got in the chamber. Let's just jump into it, man. Yesterday, 2 plays, Atlanta -4 was easy. They absolutely washed the floor with the Washington Mystics, and then Phoenix and Vegas over 162 was very frustrating, man. It finished with about 149 points, but they just couldn't score in the second half. I think the Aces scored like 30 points in the second half. Phoenix offense slowed down. There's a bunch of missed, like wide open, really good shots for Phoenix. Just some going in and out, but I mean, it is what it is, right? 1 in 1 day. Still 18-18 on the season, right about 50%, still down a few units as well. And lost about, shouldn't say 0.7 units, you say 0.07 units because we split yesterday. So we just lost a little bit of juice. So probably I got to do a better job of, making sure I don't have any mistakes on my graphics, but neither here nor there, man. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Algina says, good evening, Chris. Went 2-1 in the W yesterday. Cashed on Tina Charles over 16.5 points and Atlanta Washington under 158. Lost on Phoenix. Yeah, that was ugly. We even got the best of the number. I know you got 165, but 162.5 was the best number. And if you get the CLV like that all the time, you're typically gonna win. Should have just bet on the Aces to get smoked, which they didn't get smoked, but they lost the game. I really heavily contemplated them losing that game. Matt says he went 3-0 yesterday. Took the Sky money line, the Dream money line, the Mercury money line. Okay. What's up, James? Appreciate you for tapping in. We just gonna get straight into it, man. I'm not here for to hold you guys up. Really just wanting to get to the plays and get out of here. If you're watching it, like I said on a rerun, make sure you guys hit the like button as you join in. All right, so tomorrow, what is the single best WNBA bet on the single best total bet in the WNBA tomorrow? jaXon tells me, and I like this one as well. Under 157.5 between the Washington Mystics and the Chicago Sky. It says both teams have struggled offensively in recent games. The Mystics are coming off a dismal 56-point loss to the Atlanta Dream, shooting just 29.5% from the field, making only 3 3-pointers, 17.5%. The Sky, while victorious in their last game, have also been inconsistent offensively, averaging just 68.5 points per game in their last 4 contests before their recent win. The Mystics have gone under for their last 5 games. This looks just like my notes, with their offense failing to reach 70 points in 3 of those matchups. The Sky have also leaned towards under scoring games, with the under hitting in 3 of their last 4 games. Both teams rank in the bottom half of the league in offensive efficiency, with the Mystics particularly struggling to generate consistent scoring opportunities. Defensively, the Mystics have been solid, holding opponents under 80 points in 6 of their 11 games this season. The Sky, while less consistent defensively, have shown improvement in their last outing, limiting the Connecticut Sun to just 66 points. So the recommendation here, with both teams struggling to score and showing a tendency to score for low-scoring games, take the under 157.5 as the strongest play. You can find it on DraftKings. I think that line is gone now. As far as side, jaXon like the Lynx -8.5. Says the Lynx are 10-1 this season, undefeated at home, 5-0. They're coming off a dominant 101-78 win over the Los Angeles Sparks, covering the 11.5-point spread. The Aces, on the other hand, are 5-5 and have struggled on the road. They are also missing their star player Asia Wilson, who remains in concussion protocol. The Lynx 5-6 overall, but have consistently covered larger spreads at home. The Aces 0-2. ATS is underdogs this season and have failed to cover in their last 2 games. The Lynx are +13 average point differential in home games this season. The Aces have been outscored by an average of 7.4 points per game on the road in their road losses. So the Lynx are in excellent form and have a significant advantage with AJ Wilson being out for the Aces. Backing Minnesota to cover the minus 8.5 point spread is a strong play. So, yeah, Lynx. I know the line is moved now. We'll get into that game in just a second. But, yeah, likes Lynx tomorrow. Also likes Washington, Chicago under. I like jaXon. jaXon got some looks, man. I like both of these. As far as player props, I'll give you guys one. Sabrina Ionescu under her 18.5 points tomorrow. Minus 118 says Sabrina has hit the under 18.5 in 60% of her last 10 games, 65% of her last 20 games. Her season average of 19 is 19.5, but against Atlanta, she has struggled, averaging just 12.25 points in 4 matchups this season, which I'm not sure if that's accurate because I don't think they played 4 times this season. At home, she's hit the under in 60% of her games. So yeah, Atlanta's defense has been efficient. Has been effective at limiting Ionescu's scoring opportunities, is evident by her low scoring average against them this season, which I think that might be inaccurate. With Breanna Stewart and other offensive options on the Liberty, Ionescu may not need to carry the scoring load, further supporting the under. Don't know how much I like that one, but the other two I think are absolutely on point. So that's what jaXon liked. As always, the link is in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out. Make sure you use coupon code or referral code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's and 2 N's to get 50% off whatever tier you sign up for. So let's jump into the games for tomorrow, man. The first one up is this game between the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty. So when I saw this line, it was at 9.5. Now it has whoa. Money coming in on the under, money coming in on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I ain't even bet either one of them yet. But neither here nor there, I'll probably still be able to find 9.5. I do want Indiana plus 9.5 tonight. And I do want the under 2, but neither here nor there. All right, getting into this game, I was trying to find WNBA lines, and that just happened to pop up, and I saw it in green. Back to the WNBA, though. So for this game tomorrow, just going through my notes, lot of very, very interesting game. I'll tell you guys that. I think this is going to be an interesting game. So first, we got to start with the injury report, which I don't think anybody will be on it for Atlanta. They've been pretty healthy. They're coming off a win against the Washington Mystics where they blew them out. And then the New York Liberty will be without Phoebus, Leonie Phoebus, and Jacko Jones is also listed as questionable. She missed their last game against the Indiana Fever where they got smoked the other day. Gave up 102 points in that game against Indiana Fever in Indiana. So Atlanta is 4-2 straight up and against the spread on the road. They're coming into this game with the best ATS record in the league at 8-2. New York, like I said, coming off their first loss of the season against Indiana without Jacko Jones and without Leonie Phoebus. They're back at home where they are 4-1 against the spread, winning by an average of 22 points. They're also 4-1 to the under in those games at home, with the only over coming against the Valkyries, where the only opponent team total over came against the Valkyries, and that was a little second of a little back-to-back situation, so they weren't like really locked in after blowing the Valkyries out in that first game. I wanted to look back. I remember the Liberty being really good defensively coming off a loss last season, so I did some digging. They were 10-2 to the under coming off a loss last season. They really locked in on the defensive end, held 9 of their 12 opponents under their team total in that game. In the next game, and I can see that happening again if Jacko Jones does come to play. Atlanta is a really good offense. They're a really good defense too, if you just look at the numbers. But looking through Atlanta's recent games, this is where I started to, lean towards the Liberty. And I want Jacko Jones in if I do play the Liberty. Looking at Atlanta's recent games, like I said, they're 8-2 against the spread. They haven't played the cream of the crop quite yet, though. They lost. I'm sorry, not they lost. Their last few games will come against Washington. They just smoked Washington. They beat Chicago, bottom feeder. They beat Indiana without Caitlin Clark. They beat Connecticut, bottom feeder. All teams that really can't score the basketball. Looking at their games against teams that do average above or close to, above. Looking at the games where they played against average or above average offenses, they've typically gone over. Versus Seattle, they gave up 87 points in that game. They scored 94. Versus the Sparks, another offensive team that doesn't play a lot of defense, they gave up 82 points in that game. They scored 88. And versus Indiana at the beginning of the season, they ended up giving up, I think they gave up 100 points to Indiana. One of their first games that they played in Indiana this season. So also, I've screenshotted this because I wanted to make sure I shared it. when I look at teams that are coming off, games where they won by 20 points or more, but then they're getting 2 possessions. So the line is 6. They're getting at least 6 points in the next game. It typically turns itself towards an over. You can see in the graphic here that the defense typically overperformed in the last matchup, which they did against Washington. I think Washington only scored like 56 points in that game. 24-13 is what's highlighted in orange, yellow at the top. That's 65%, 64.9. And Atlanta hasn't, like I said, they haven't been challenged offensively yet. I also highlighted this DPA number right here. This is delta points average, delta points allowed. I'm sorry. So you can see if you zoom in, if you're watching this on the TV, you can see that only 2 of the, I think this is probably what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think that's 17. So about 15-2 is the opponent team total over. That says that the Liberty should be able to score the basketball. That's how I like this one. I think the Liberty can score. I think if Jocko Jones comes back, they'll be able to, spread the floor, should be able to get into their offensive rhythm. The Dream do have the second best defensive rating over the last 5 games, but like I said, they haven't really played anybody. I think Coach, Sandy Brondello will make it a point to, get the Liberty to get out and play with pace. They are number 1 in pace in the league and try to score in transition before Atlanta gets their defense set up. I also think Brittany Griner and Bree Jones will, they could be in some trouble trying to stay in front of the bigs for, the New York Liberty, Stewie and Jacquel Jones if she plays. So we shall see. Like I said, I think Atlanta hasn't played against a solid offensive team in quite a while. So that's my thought process on this game. I didn't really think about it too much from a player prop perspective. Jones is in, no minutes restriction. James says, I saw that she was listed as questionable. Let me just double check real quick because I want to say she was still listed as questionable. Let's just see. We'll play Tuesday. Won't be on the minutes restriction. I didn't see that. Okay, I saw everything else and then I see that. Appreciate you, James. Yeah, I'll take the Liberty team total over then. That's what I want to be on. The number I thought was a little conservative. It's 85.5 on FanDuel at -120. That's what I want to be on. I do think that they're going to be able to run it up tomorrow. Whether Atlanta comes along for the ride, we don't know yet. But I do think that they are going to be able to score the basketball. So I'm with you, James. I like over is what I like for tomorrow as well in this game. Like I said, I didn't really look at it from a player prop perspective, really just trying to get through the games and give you guys what I'm thinking about these ones. But I do got a couple player props, just not in this game. All right, so this next one is Sun and Fever. This line is now ballooned all the way to, it looks like 17 and a half now. So money coming in on the Fever. This line opened with the Fever laying, I think it opened at 15. And then last night I saw it go to 15 and a half, then up to 16 and 17. And yeah, I mean, everybody wants to fade the Connecticut Sun. And I couldn't give you a reason not to. I just want to go here and update this to 17 and a half. Now, 17 and a half is a lot of points to lay. I did bet this game. We start with DeWanna Bonner being out for personal reasons for the second straight game for the Indiana Fever. Shania Rivers is also listed as questionable with an illness for the Connecticut Sun. We'll see if she plays. This Connecticut Sun team is 3-7 against the spread on the season, 2-3 against the spread on the road. Their offense has been wildly inconsistent. Last 2 games, they scored 66 points for Chicago and just 67 points against the Washington Mystics. They did get to 84 against Atlanta in a nice little upset, but only scored 52 points the game before that when they were playing against the Liberty in New York. It's also a terrible spot for Connecticut. First leg of a back-to-back. They're the only team that has to play tomorrow, and then also did play again on Wednesday. They got a game against Phoenix, and it'll be in Connecticut. So they have to travel for that game as well, travel from Indiana to Phoenix, and then also travel to this game yesterday from home as well, because they were at home, of course, when they were playing against the Chicago Sky. So 3 of their 4 losses have come by 24 to Atlanta, 48 to New York, and 37 to Washington. They're averaging just 65 points per game on the road. Indiana has a 1-day rest advantage with them playing against the Liberty on Saturday, Connecticut Sun playing on Sunday. And on top of all that, you got a nice little revenge spot here for Indiana. Lost to Connecticut without Caitlin Clark. I got the numbers here for that game. About 2 weeks ago, Indiana is in a nice little unique rest advantage spot. They have more rest before this game, and they got more rest after this game. Typically, we see those games go under, about a 58% hit rate to the under, and that's what I ended up betting. I bet Connecticut Sun team total under, though. I got 74.5 minus 125 on Bet365. Like I said, they're averaging just 65 points on the road. Indiana, that unique rest spot that's about a 58% hit rate, typically lends itself to the road team, to the team that's less rested, not scoring as much. I also looked at double digit dogs who are playing the first leg of a back-to-back. You still got to keep something in the tank for that next game. Those double digit dogs playing on no rest on the first leg of a back-to-back are 10-6-1 to the under. 5 of the last 6 have actually stayed under in a league-wide perspective as well, going under their team total. Connecticut is only averaging 71 points per game on the season and in their last 5 games. Indiana is 4th in defensive rating on the full season and last 5 games. They're playing slower recently, 12th in pace over the last 5 games. Connecticut is 10th, so neither team really wanted to play fast. And as a double-digit dog, Connecticut has been held under 74 points in 2 of their 3 games, scoring 70 against Minnesota and 52 against the Liberty. The only time that they went over was actually against this Fever team without Caitlin Clark. So then you add in a nice little revenge spot for the Indiana Fever tomorrow. I think Connecticut comes out absolutely. I think the Fever come out absolutely blast the Connecticut Sun. Don't really want to lay this many points, but that's the only way I would be able to play it. I would lay the points here. With Indiana, the way I chose to play it though is Connecticut team total under. You can see in this graphic here, they shot 50% from the 3-point line. This Connecticut Sun team, I'm not thinking that they're going to be able to do that again. Also don't think they'll shoot close to 52% from the field either. And I don't think they're going to get 30 points off turnovers either. You can see that the Indiana turned the ball over without Caitlin Clark 15 times, led to 30 points for the Connecticut Sun. I don't think none of that's happening tomorrow. So that's my thought process on this game. I do think that the Indiana Fever could win this game by 25 points. The way I chose to play it is Connecticut Sun team total under 74.5. What's up, Mitchell? Appreciate you for tapping in. Says I like over dream game for sure. Yeah, that's the spot for me. Prolific says Chris, UJ Money said he gonna coach Dallas Wings and he not only gonna flip lines, he gonna flip the players back to. Bro, I should probably read that first, man. Shout out to my guy Jay, man. Shout out to Jay. That is funny. That is funny, man. Matt says under Fever minus 110. He likes the full game under 165.5. The Fever team total, I think, was like 90.5. I don't think they'll need to score that many points, man. Even though they can. I mean, we just saw them score 100 points against the Liberty, so they could absolutely get there. I just don't think the Connecticut Sun gonna reach 70 tomorrow. So that's the way I ended up choosing to bet it. Next game is the Las Vegas Aces and the Minnesota Lynx. This line is long gone, I think. Yeah, it's up to 12.5 now. This was the line that we got on early. So this is 12, actually 12.5 on most books. Yeah, all the value is pretty much gone in my opinion. Aces will be without Asia Wilson again. Shepard is still out. She's not with the team because she's with her national team, Jessica Shepard, that is for the Minnesota Lynx. But everybody else should be there. The Aces, of course, are at a 1-day rest disadvantage. They just recently played yesterday and lost at home to the Phoenix Mercury and couldn't score the basketball in that game. So, yeah, I think it's a Lynx spot, of course. I laid the 8.5 yesterday, though, so I'll be on this one pretty short. 8.5 yesterday, minus 110 on ESPN bet. I put in a write-up that the Lynx, this line opened at 8. I got 8.5. So I wasn't expecting Asia Wilson to return because she is coming off, a concussion. And typically concussions have been at least 3 days out in a row. And that's what we see here. She's already been rolled out for this game, but I played it before that. Lynx style of play, I do think is the kryptonite for the Aces because the Aces 3-point defense has been so subpar. The Lynx have also covered 3 straight games against this Aces team, going back to last season. And I just want to share one thing real quick after I continue to read this. So yeah, they covered all 3 spreads last season, even though going back to last season, even with A'ja Wilson in, and while the Minnesota Lynx have struggled to cover at home, the Aces have actually failed to cover 3 straight games. They're only 3-7 against the spread this season. Now they're at a rest disadvantage, and Minnesota has no travel because they're coming off an easy win against the Sparks where they beat them by 20 plus points. I think the Minnesota Lynx absolutely beat up on the Aces in this spot. Just to give you guys a little bit more information about what I was seeing as far as 3-point shooting, this is the best 3-point shooting team last 5 games and on the full season as far as above the break threes. Nobody shoots more. Nobody actually shoots a better field goal percentage from 3 than this Mystics team as well. 38%, 39% on the full season, 44% in their last 5 games. Above the break 3, they're number 1, 36%. In the last 5 games, 41%. The Aces defense is what I was saying in the write-up. 32.7% is what they're allowing, which is 8th on the full season. Last 5 games has gotten worse, 36.5%. Which is second worst in the WNBA. I think they absolutely smoked the Aces tomorrow. I also bet the team total under for the Aces. I think that they're going to struggle to score the basketball. The Lynx are the second best defensive rated team, fourth best defensive rated team, third best over the last 5 games. I'm sorry, and only allowing about 75 points per game. I got the Aces team total under. I think the number was 78.5 that I sent out to the members, but that number is probably gone now. Yeah, I got 76.5. I think it's down to 75.5. I would probably just stay off of this game and just take the Lynx early. I think that they smoked the Aces from the beginning. We haven't seen the Aces play on the road without A'ja. I think they're in for a rude awakening tomorrow, in my opinion. Also, I talked about this on the NBA stream, but looking at Chelsea Gray under her 4.5 assists tomorrow, I don't think this line has moved quite yet. She's under. You can see I put this over here on the side, and you can see all of the numbers right here to support it. But she's under 8 of her 10 games this season. With one of the overs actually coming against the Dallas Wings, who are one of the worst defensive teams in the WNBA by far, not even close. We'll talk about them in just a second. So I do think Chelsea Gray finds it really, really difficult to get to her assist prop tomorrow, 5 assists. She couldn't get there with A'ja Wilson. It's going to be really hard to get there without her as well. I like Chelsea Gray under. So maybe this is where I would pivot now. I don't really want to make 3 plays in the same game, but if I was going to make another, it would probably be on Chelsea Gray to stay under her 4.5 assists tomorrow. No thoughts really on this one. I think this comment's from earlier, so we shall keep pushing, man. Let's go to the next one. So Mystics in the sky. I didn't see anybody on the injury report quite yet for this game. Let me just double check that, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I think we should be good. So the Washington Mystics are coming off a blowout loss to the Atlanta Dream. Equal rest for Chicago because Chicago also played yesterday. This Mystics team has not been good on the road, just 1-4 straight up on the road. They're 2-3 against the spread on the road. First road game after 3 straight home games as well. Just double check the line real quick, make sure I still got it right. Oh, they actually back up to 4 now. Okay. So I need to change this to 4. And the total has actually stayed the same. Okay. So the Washington Mystics actually land 4 points as a road favorite. Okay. All right. So then we have the Chicago Sky. Back home after the win against Connecticut Sun as a dog yesterday. They only 1-2 straight up and against the spread at the crib. First home game after 3 straight road games, typically a fade spot, especially when the team is coming off a win as a dog. And the only win that they got actually came against the Dallas Wings. Only team that they've beaten so far is the Dallas Wings twice, and then, of course, Connecticut Sun in their last game. When I was looking back at this game as far as, like, historically, Washington has won 3 straight against Chicago. They've won 3 straight and 7 of their last 8 against Chicago. For whatever reason, they've kind of owned this team. 7 of the 8 games have actually gone to the under as well when these 2 teams have matched up. So it's typically been Mystics and the under over the last handful of games, about 2 seasons. Washington is and this is what I was seeing my notes compared with jaXon notes. Washington offense is very inconsistent, which has led to them being 7-3 to the under on the full season. Chicago has also struggled to consistently score the ball on the offensive end. They play 4 straight unders. Washington is 4-1 to the under in road games, and those games are averaging just 152 points. I don't really want to lay 4 points on the road with the Washington Mystics. I think, I'm not expecting Chicago to look as good as they did against Connecticut. Connecticut is going to make pretty much everybody look good, in my opinion. But I do think Chicago's, they're getting there. They're finding something. Angel Reese having that triple-double that she did yesterday, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that, Washington is really a really good rebounding team. They're also coming off a game where they absolutely got smoked and embarrassed, so I do expect them to play hard. Do they win by 4, though? I don't really want to lay points with them on the road. I laid points with them against Connecticut a couple weeks ago, and I was scared out of my mind. It took full 4 quarters for them to actually get there. With about 3 minutes left, they finally got the lead, and they would squeak out a win. But I don't really want to lay points for Washington on the road. I think I just play under 156 or nothing at all for me if I was playing this game. And that's really just how I view it. I think, I talked about Angel Reese going over her rebound prop in the last game. I would actually probably play Angel Reese under her rebound prop in this game, just because the Washington Mystics are a really good rebounding team. They typically do a good job of limiting the opponent's bigs. And the only thing that would scare me is how many bricks are going to be put up in this game, because I do expect a lot of misses. So that's my thought process on this game in a nutshell. Heavy lean to the under 156.5, maybe even a Chicago team total under, but it's not anything that I bet. And I do see the Mystics. I'm sorry, the Minnesota line is moving up to 13 right now on a couple books as well, and that total is starting to drop too. So agree with that. No comments here. Let's keep it pushing. Next game we got is the Valkyries and the Wings. This line, I think it opened at 2.5. It is not 2.5 anymore. I actually saw it go up to 3.5, and now it looks like it's settled at 3. So the Dallas Wings at the crib, laying 3 points. This total is 163.5. It looks like. So a little bit of money coming in on the over. Well, actually, looks like it opened at 164, but I thought I saw 162. So I could be wrong. Anyway, in this game, man, very, very simple game for me. The Wings will be without Maddie Siegrist. She's out. They will also be without Tierra McCown, who's with the national team. And Rike Gumbawale popped up on the injury report. She didn't practice yesterday. She was listed as questionable with an illness, but now she's off the report. And then Tiffany Hayes on the Golden State Valkyries is out. I'm sorry, she's not out. She's actually been upgraded to questionable after missing the last few games with that nose injury that she had. The Valkyries, of course, are still going to be shorthanded without a lot of their role players that left for the national team. Timmy Fong-Bagley, I think her last game was yesterday. She's going to be missed, and Salama's not going to be there, and they're going to be missing Julie Van Loo, and can't remember who else it is, but I think it might be one more player as well. So it's a lot of key role players that are going to be missing. But not laying points with the Wings, man. I can't lay points with the Wings. Cannot lay points with the Wings, man. Golden State is a team that just plays hard. And that's sometimes that's all you need to do is you need to bet on a team that's going to play hard, that's going to take care of the basketball, that's going to force turnovers. And they're the absolute opposite of the Dallas Wings. They're a well-disciplined team. They don't really take too many bad shots, even though they're not the greatest offensive team. They've actually held 3 straight opponents under their team total, under 82 points. The Storm, the Sparks, the Aces, not bad offenses at all. They're 7-3 against the spread on the season. And I thought it was kind of crazy that they're catching this many points. Now, granted, I do expect them to be catching points. They can't be laying points on the road. But if this goes back up to 3.5, 4, I'll be looking to take the Valkyries, even with, them being shorthanded. They did sign a couple players, which it might take a while for them to get some chemistry. But as long as you're playing hard, Monique Billings and, Kate Martin and Veronica Burton, I mean, they still got some absolute dogs out there. Losing Timmy Fong-Bagley, I think, is going to be big too, but I can't do it with the Wings, man. Dallas is 1-11 straight up, 0-5 straight up, 1-11 straight up on the full season, 0-5 straight up and against the spread at home this season. They've only gone over their team total once, and they've only held their opponent under their team total twice. Can't lay with Dallas, just can't do it. So it'd be Valkyries plus the points if you can get a plus 3.5. Or you could wait, see where the line goes, and then I would be looking at a Valkyries team total over, because I do think that they'll be able to score. The Wings will play fast. They'll try to get up and down the floor and not try to play against this set defense of the Valkyries, in my opinion. So I do like this game. I like the Valkyries team total over or the Valkyries plus the points, but I didn't play this game in full transparency. Not a game that I played quite yet. And that's my thought process on that one. Next one and last one on the board is the Seattle Storm, who will be in LA They're laying 4.5 points against this Seattle team. What up, Ski? Hey, Ski, you were having the games. You could have just came on the show, bro. But yeah, I made a couple bets, Ski. Hopefully we align tomorrow. This is the game that I kind of didn't even finish, honestly. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't finish looking into this game. The couple things that jumped out to me was, first, I kind of feel like the line is exactly where it should be. I always talk about not being able to lay points with the Washington, not Washington, I'm sorry. I always talk about not being able to lay points with the Sparks, but now they're actually getting points, and they've been much worse on the road, much worse at home than they've been on the road for whatever reason. The Sparks are coming off a spot where they absolutely embarrassed to the Minnesota Lynx the other day. I think they gave up close to 100 points in that game, and now they return home. Looking to get back right. Seattle will be looking to get right too. They were laying double digits in Golden State the other day. So short travel, of course, in-state travel, laying double digits, lost the game outright. And the reason why they lost it outright is the same reason they always lose it outright, because they can't score the basketball, specifically on the road when teams go 2-3 zone against them. I've never seen anything quite like this Seattle offense when teams go 2-3 zone and they just can't score the basketball. So the way I think about the game is, I don't think that the Sparks are going to be able to slow down the Seattle team. Like, this is not the Valkyries defense here. And for whatever reason, like I said, the Sparks just don't play well at home. 1-5 straight up, 1-5 against the spread at home. And now you got them, against the Seattle team, I do think will be locked in, losing that game by 6 when they were laying double digits, 16-point swing there. And first game back home for this Los Angeles Sparks team. They did beat the Aces. Nice little upset win there as 9-point dogs. Won that game by 8 points. And they played in 3 straight overs. So I do think this is a little bit more of an over game. I know Seattle can be, pretty good defensively, but I think they'll be able to score. I think this game will be played with pace as well. Seattle will want to get out and run. I always talk about not really wanting to lay points with Seattle on the road. I'll just say I think we see points. I think over 162 is the best way to get paid in this game. That's the way I would play this one. You got a Sparks team that is 7-2-1 to the over. 179 points is what they ended up with against the Minnesota Lynx. They ended up with 187 points against the Las Vegas Aces. Even the Golden State Valkyries, they ended up getting to 170, even though that game did go to overtime. But yeah, this is, 7-2-1 to the over last 10 games. 3 straight overs. Like, I think this game will be played with pace. I actually like this one up and over. Nice little bounce back spot for Seattle's offense. And I did see that Odyssey Sims will be out. That'll hurt the offense for this LA Sparks team, but I still think that they have enough to get this one up and over the total. So I'll lean over for this game. Over 162 would be the way that I would play this one if I was going to be involved. The total has not really moved a lot. 162, 162 and a half, it looks like, is what's on the board in this game. So these are the ways that I want to play the games for tomorrow, at least this game. Let's see if anybody have any comments on this one before we jump into a quick recap. Let's see. What up, Dax? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Fahrenheit? Let's see. Ski said, I think Wings favorite for a reason. I think they favor Ski because the Valkyries can't be favored on the road. Not as an expansion team. Not as an expansion team, Ski. And one other thing, I didn't mention this, but one other thing I was looking at, we talked about this the other day, right? And this is one of the reasons I couldn't lay the points with the Sparks. Not with the Sparks, with the Storm the other day. This Valkyries team is a really good rebounding team. They are number 3 in offensive rebounds allowed, number 2 in defensive rebounds allowed, number 1 in overall rebounding. And that's one of the Wings' actual strengths. Even without Tierra McCowan, because she hasn't been playing a lot of minutes, the Dallas Wings rely a lot on offensive rebounds. They're number one in rebounds and rebounding, and the Valkyries take that away. They're also number one in second chance points last 5 games, number 2 for the full season. I think the Valkyries can take that away as well. The bigger the line gets, the more I want to take the Valkyries. The other thing that I wanted to look at, because we talked about this in the last game, the Valkyries also take away the restricted area, right? Like they don't let from them double teaming Asia Wilson last weekend to not really letting NECA go off last night. So I was thinking, okay, Enrique should have a good game then because their 3-point defense is probably not that good, and it's not. They're actually 10th in opponent above the break 3-point field goal percentage. But you look at the Dallas Wings offense, is not that good. Dallas above the break 3 field goal percentage is 30.3%. And it makes sense. Enrique always like 4 for 17, 1 for 8 from the 3-point line. So 30.3% is actually 9th in their last 5 games. 31.8% is actually 10th over the full season. So this is not a great 3-point shooting team. They rank 9th overall in 3-point shooting. And if you're going to beat the Valkyries, in my opinion, you're going to have to do it because you're going to do it from distance. And I think that's what we saw when they got blown out against the Liberty earlier this season in New York. Interested to know what you think about that, Ski. Let's see. First home win time, James said. They might win. I don't know. I don't even know how many points they're going to cover by, though. Appreciate you, Fahrenheit. Matt says Wings money line. They add a hungry senator. They added they did get a what's her name? The Chinese center from Seattle. They just traded for Uruf. I think it's Uruf. That's how you pronounce it. China hungry. I didn't even see Storm money line. What did they open at? Wow, they opened at 1.5. I did not see that line. Okay. Yeah, so all the way up to 4.5 now. I didn't see that. What did total open at? The total opened at 163.5, and it's actually come down now to 162. Okay. BJ says he agrees with Ski. Ski says I just worry about the Sparks offense without Odyssey Sims. Looked trash in that last game, especially first half. That was against the Lynx though, Ski. Lynx were coming off a loss back at the crib. Sparks might have been feeling themselves a little bit. I don't think. Do we think the Storm defense is in that same category on the road too? I think it'll be played with pace. Let's see. Seattle is 10th in pace on the full season, 7th in pace last 5 games. Defensively, 6th in defensive rating over the last 5 games, 7th in defensive rating over the full season. We know the Sparks ain't trying to play no defense, though. 3rd in pace over the last 5 games, giving up the most points per game. 88.6 is what the Sparks are giving up in their last 5 games. On the full season, they're giving up 86, which is 10th. So this is, 10th worst defensive rated team. Sparks, the Seattle should be able to bounce back offensively and be able to score in this game. Their team total is Seattle team total is 83.5. I think the Sparks will push them to where they have to score 84 points tomorrow. So it could just be a Seattle team total. It's already juiced to -120. Caesars got it at Caesars got it at -110. But this number is already moving. It looks like Seattle team total is up to 83.5 -110. That could be the play, Ski. Just take Seattle team total up and over. I think the Sparks should be able to get to 79 though. They got enough offense. Rakia Jackson, De'Erica Hamby, Azare Stevens, Kelsey Plum. I think they got enough, Ski. G421 says, what up? Skylar Diggins points and assists. Yeah, I mean, Skylar Diggins assists alone. Let's see how many assists the Sparks are giving up. Yeah, only 3 teams give up more assists per game than the Sparks. So Skylar Diggins assists. Let's see if the line is available real quick. G421. Because I could absolutely see that. All right, let's take this comment down for a second. Let's look at. I like that Chelsea Gray a lot, though. Chelsea Gray under her assist. Skylar. Skylar is 5.5 right now, minus 115. She's over in 2 of her last 3 games. Like I said, this is not a good defense at all. They give it up. They give up the assists. And she's coming off a game where she only had 3 against Golden State, a really good defensive team. The minutes are there, solid at 32, at least 32 in her last. Let's just put this at 2025. She got a couple stinkers in here, though. But these were against really good, better defensive teams. Minnesota, Atlanta. I don't know how she only got 5 against Dallas, though. But, yeah. Her road games, she's only played 5. She's over in 2 of the 3. Phoenix, Minnesota, and Golden State, 3 of the better defensive teams. She went under. And then the 2 bad defensive teams, Dallas. Well, Phoenix is not bad defensively, but she did go over. This was the revenge spot after losing this game. Yeah, I like Skylar Diggins' assists. But you said points and assists. And points and assists make sense to me, too. I agree. Skylar's going to make the All-Star team this season. She actually balling in Seattle. As much as I, hate on their offense because they can't shoot the basketball, especially when I bet on them. Skylar going to the All-Star game for sure. I didn't even think about that, James. It seems like they can't stand the coach for Dallas. Like I want nothing to do with Dallas, man. I want nothing to do with Dallas, man. James says he likes the Sparks game over. I like it as well. Ski says Seattle team total. I can get with that. Yeah, 83.5. Ski. I might look a little bit deeper in Seattle team total. Matter of fact, let's go look at it real quick. Let's first look at the Sparks home games because I told you they were 1-5 straight up, 1-5 against the spread. They're giving up an average of 85 points per game. The Valkyries just scored 89 against them. The Mercury scored 85 against them. The Dream scored 88 against them. The Sky, which that wasn't a real WNBA team. I mean, I don't know if they still not a real WNBA team. The Valkyries got to 82 and the Lynx got to 89. So teams are 84. We need 84. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 2 to the over with only the Valkyries. And this was like one of their first games of their existence. In the Sky. And I would just say that Seattle's offense is a little bit better than that. If we go back and look at the head-to-head matchups, last time that they played in LA, we've seen 4 straight overs in LA. Seattle scored 90 points last season. In Seattle, they scored 90 points in LA last season. They scored 89 points in LA last season. And they scored 95 in Seattle. So 90, 90, 89, and 95 has been the last 5 totals. They also got the 89 the game before that. I think I'm gonna bet it right now. So I ain't even thinking about it too much, honestly. And it makes sense. Seattle only scored 70 points in their last game. They'll bounce back. They just scored 94 against Minnesota, 89 against Phoenix, 83 against Dallas. They could definitely get there. And I think the game gonna be played with pace. That's enough for me to take it. I'm on it, Ski. I'm on it. James says no Sims does hurt. Who's the point guard? Plum? Yeesh. Yeah, I think they'll get there though, man. I think they'll get there. Fading that Mystics offense all season. They do. James says this is the GM and Cole, I think it's pronounced Colclains, have a year-long relationship. That's why he'll get a longer than he should leash. Okay, I didn't even know that. So you're telling me something new. Yeah, I think I really want to add that. Maybe just the team total over rather than the full game over. But I think Seattle definitely gonna get theirs. I think LA gonna score 2, man. I'll add it. I didn't bet it yet, but just giving you guys the looks because, like I said, I'm not doing a show tomorrow. So we jump into the quick recap. A lot of things to like tomorrow. This is the first time I think all season that we've seen every single team play. Only team that's off tomorrow is the Phoenix Mercury, and they are, of course, playing against the Connecticut Sun the following game. So I bet Minnesota minus the 9. I bet that line is gone. I bet Aces team total under 76.5. That line is down to 74.5 now. And I got Connecticut team total under 74.5. That number is 73.5. Already gone too. You can get a 73.5 right now though. Marina Mabrey, like I said, I think she goes under her assist tomorrow, especially with them being on the first leg of a back-to-back. I think they absolutely get smoked. The Indiana Fever actually allow the second fewest assists in the WNBA. So I think it's going to be, I mean, she also don't got a lot of playmakers around her either. So it's not like they're going to be catching and shooting and knocking down shots. So I like Marina Mabrey under her 3.5 assists tomorrow. If Jacko Jones play, go back to the reference of the screenshot with the New York team total. I think, like I said, this Atlanta Dream team is very good defensively. I do think that some of that has to do with their opponent. So you can go back and look at, listen to the analysis for that. Washington, Chicago, I'd only be able to look under with both of those inconsistent offenses. You really just need one of them to, finish with like 57, 58 points or even, something like that. And that game stays under, in my opinion. Golden State, only looking at them plus the 3.5 is now gone though. But I think that they'll be able to score tomorrow against the Wings because everybody can. And then Seattle team total over 83.5 is probably the one that I feel the best, just, capping it out on the show. With all the plays that are in red, all the short list plays. If I add anything, I'll send it out to the members. The link, of course, as always, is in the description of the video. So yeah, check it out. All the links for the resources are also in the description of the video. I gave you guys some looks that jaXon liked for tomorrow, like I don't know about the Sabrina under her 18.5 points, especially when I like the team total over. I don't think I like that one, but I do like the under in the Mystics game. jaXon likes that, and already got the links tomorrow as well. So check out Outlier if you guys are interested. The link for that is in the description. Same thing with Moneyballer. A lot of these, the last 5 games, full season numbers I'm getting from Outlier, and I just write them down versus using the website. But using the website on the show, but I use it a lot when I'm not on the show. So check that out as well. And that'll be the show, man. Like I said, do me a favor, hit the like button for me on your way out. Best of luck on your NBA action for today, Game 5. And whatever you play in the W tomorrow as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one.